has its own nomenclature based on its function. So there are service aggregation router, you will see SAR router. This is Cisco 9K family. We have 9922 deployed in our network, 9010 deployed in our network. 9010 stands because there are 10 slots. Similar as compared to Juniper, there are line cards and there are processor cards. These are the capacities. So this, there is no point in viewing the image. When I log into the device, I'll show you what exactly you should look into the routers. Okay. So moving on to, so far if you have any queries, just put it in the Q&A or chat. Now, moving on to the network faults, where we might have been struggling, or we are not reporting it right, or we are not aware, that's why we are saying the wrong things. Okay. So network faults, the few major network faults that should be immediately resolved as per the SLA is there are node related faults, there are line card or module related faults, there are protocol related faults, and then comes on the lower level, there are link related faults. Okay, so sometimes we say node is unreachable. So you should be able to segregate it. What does node unreachable means? So when we say node unreachable, that means it is not reachable from ecosystem. When we say ecosystem, I have already told you, there is 7, there you have your NMS. Now these are ecosystem which are used for managing the nodes. Okay, sometimes there is a possibility that node is only not reachable from ecosystem, but there is no service impact. No one is reporting you that there are sites down or there are any services that are down. You have not received any complaints. That time, the node is unmanaged because you are not able to remotely manage that node. You are not able to get the performance of the node. You are not getting the traps, network events, and on demand, if you are trying to fetch the inventory, you are not able to fetch the inventory as well. But there is no impact on services. Node unreachable case, there is an access layer node which is connected in our network. There are fiber cuts. That's why that node is unreachable with ecosystem. Obviously, it will be unreachable because both of the WAN links are down. So at that moment, you will see that the nodes are down with inline RRs also. Okay, there is one more case in this where your aggregation layer is isolated. From aggregation to access is intact. But since your upper layer is, I'll go back to the first slide to explain that. Now, I have discussed the first part where your aggregation device is isolated. Oh, sorry, your access device is isolated. So let's say there's one cut here. There is one cut here for WAN link, and then there is another cut here. So the access device is down from its inline RR as well as the ecosystem. Now there will be a second case where you will see that this device is reachable with its aggregation device, but your aggregation itself is down with the core. So the inline RR, it will be up till aggregation layer, obviously, because this physical connectivity is up. Since it is down with the aggregation layer, there might be service impact, including aggregation and access. So you may not be able to find out from the inline RRs. So first part we have seen, node is unreachable, where node is not reachable from ecosystem as well as inline RRs. Second part, there is no impact in service. That means it is reachable via inline RR. it is not reachable from ecosystem. That means a node down ticket or node unreachable ticket got created. Why it got created? Because the NMS detected that this node is unreachable. That doesn't mean there are impact on services, because no one has reported it. So when you receive an alert from ecosystem, you should also check the inline RRs, or at least the IGP connectivity, whether while logging into the router, whether the device is carrying any traffic or not. After that, there comes a third type, that is node down. Now, node down is nothing but your node went down because any of the reason. Either the hardware is faulty, either there is no power supply, or any infra related issue. Let's say AC went down. There are 3 ACs. One AC went down after 6 hours, other AC went down, and there was high temperature. Due to the high temperature, the node went down. So now at this point, your network, this particular node got unreachable. This particular node got unreachable because the node itself went down. So there were no fiber cuts. There was no issue between pre-ag and core, but the node itself. So once you make few checks, you will be able to segregate whether it is a node down issue, node unmanaged issue, or node unreachable issue. Next part, we will come to the line card. In line card, there are only 2 types. Either it is carrying your physical ports, that is the line card, and other is your processor card. In Juniper, we call it as RE. In Cisco, it is a supervisor card or RSP. In Nokia, we call it as CPM. In Nokia, it is CPM. So, one more thing. Even if your CPM or processor is down, that time also you might see that node is down, since there will be no connectivity or no processor to keep this node up. After that, there are protocol down cases. Okay, you have protocol down. There could be multiple reasons. Okay, I'm focusing on excluding fiber cuts. Let's say you have configured BGP or ISIS with authentication. The common case will take for LDP. We have configured LDP with authentication. On one node, we have configured different password. So due to that authentication failure, the protocol will stay down. What to check for that particular scenario will vary depending on protocol and what are the OEMs. The command will vary. Okay. After protocol, these are the network faults that should be addressed by you, where you can at least check by logging into the device, line card, protocol down, and link down. In link down, we have segregated it as 2 types. One is southbound link, which is carrying your services. One is WAN link, which is carrying your router as a service. WAN link is between 2 different routers. In WAN link down also, there will be 2 types. Only ISIS protocol is down, the physical layer is up, or the port itself is down. Now, there are several reasons for port going down. It is not receiving power, the SFP is faulty, patch cord is faulty, or altogether only the protocol is down. Even if the protocol is down, your WAN link will stay down. These are the types of the faults. If any fault you have in mind that I have not covered, put it in chat. We can later discuss that also. So, whenever node down case is there, what you should know while communicating. See, I'm talking very slowly. I'm taking this very slowly. So you may feel when the node goes down, I don't have this much time to check all this detail. But once you know the network, once you get familiar with the architecture, all this is a matter of seconds. So what should you know? You should know the node name. What is the OEM? What is the model number? If only the card is down, what is the card type? What are the services on that card? That you should be knowing. You are calling that, yes, one node is down. which node I will check. It will take time. From host name itself, you can identify what is the make, whether it is a Cisco node, whether it's Juniper node, whether it's an ECI node. Node is the model number. You may call that the Cisco 903 is down, or Nokia 7750 is down, 7705 is down. From the nomenclature itself, you can identify most of the nomenclature related exercise is completed. So you will find that nomenclature itself, there is a model number present. Few cases in IPCP are left, but there are very few cases. Most of the time, the node which is going down, it is part of our IPsec. Now, what will be the basic checks when you are checking for the ecosystem? So right now, for this particular case, I have assumed that your alert is received on UOC. You have seen on the UOC, yes, I have received the alert. Now, check on SEV1. There are two parts. You can check ICMP reachability. It is there as IP availability, and then there is SNMP availability. These two things you can check at what time it has gone down. Whether it is correlating with your UOC, whether there was delay. Let's say that node went down at 1 p.m., but you have received that alert at 1:45. You can correlate that. You can check when the ICMP reachability went down, when the SNMP reachabilities went down. If you see that the node is reachable on SEV1, it is carrying traffic also, then you can easily understand that node is only unreachable with my NMS. It is reachable with the PMS system. And from that, if it is reachable on SEV1, then you can easily get the port status, traffic stats of the WAN link. And as earlier I have shown you the flow, if the trap is not received on UOC, then you can check in TMIP or VTMIP. If it is not seen in TMIP, you can check the NMS, HP NNM, and then raise it to HP for any deviation. Now, that was the ecosystem check. Now, what are the technical checks? Node related. The first thing, this should be on the top. Check the reachability from SSH server. Earlier, we have seen the login flow. You log into the .35 server, check reachability whether it is reachable or not. If it is reachable with high latency and packet drop and you are not able to log in, it has to be checked accordingly. If the reachability is okay, log into the device, check for any logs or any changes. If the device is not reachable to you, you are not able to log in, check the neighboring node. What is the status of WAN link, at what time the WAN link went down, whether the physical is down or only protocols are down. In case of access, pre-aggregation and aggregation router, check from the inline RR whether there are BGP session also down, and it is down from both RRs. See, the way I am telling you, it feels like it takes a lot of time, but believe me, once you start doing this, it is only a matter of minutes. Earlier I said it is a matter of seconds to identify. Now this is matter of minutes. When you log into the device, when you are aware of the architecture, you can directly log into the device. You can check in SEV1 also what are the neighboring node WAN links connected to this for node related issues. For card and port related issues, again, check the logs. There are few cases you might see at the night time that the card is reloaded. But if you check the logs, you will see maybe this is inserted for the first time. When you go for checking any changes or planned events, you will easily understand, yes, today there was a card removal activity or there was card insertion activity. This will again save your efforts instead of working on restoration. See, when you check logs and changes, this will save a lot of efforts working on restoration. Then you go and check for the system or chassis alarms. Check the power supply. If the card is down, whether there is sufficient power available on the node or not. If power supply is okay, for port related cases, check whether the port is actually physically down and what are the power levels that you are receiving on the node. Now these are the basic CLI, when you log into the device, when you see there is a card related issue, you can directly check for show chassis alarms, show log messages, show chassis hardware for checking the device. What are the, you can see the model number, part number, everything in show chassis hardware. In show chassis FPC, you can see what are the current number of FPCs live, whether they are up and running fine or any FPC is in down state. In show chassis FPC peak status, you can see the child cards of the FPC, whether they are up or not, whether they are carrying traffic or not. Okay, there are few commands which may not work for L1 user, but at least you should have a logic in the mind what should be checked. I believe for checking logs and changes, you will be able to access and check. These commands are easy. Show log messages, show chassis alarm, you will be able to access. For Cisco to check, you have to check show platform. If you want to check, this command may or may not work with L1 access, summary location all, to check at what time the card booted. But show log and show platform, it should work. Similarly for Nokia, show system alarms, to check the card, show card, to check child card, show MDA, and then to check the logs depending upon what kind of log is configured. The command will be show log, log ID 9900 or 10. This also I'll tell a difference. What is the difference? What we are doing with it. Okay. So if you have a question, okay, I'll take a brief 2-minute break before login to the device and show you what we are missing and what should be checked. If you have a query, you can quickly put it. Then while displaying the router outputs, I'll show you. One thing that is absolutely not covered in this session is any specific fault related troubleshooting and any service layer troubleshooting. We are specifically talking about network faults and the first cut information that we should share with our customers. Customer, when I say, is circle. When we are aligning field engineer, when we are informing all the stakeholders that this particular network fault is running, so we are discussing that part only. So you have any queries, just put it in the chat. Till the time I'll just log into the device and I'll show you. One back. Yes, Ravi has rightly mentioned. We have also segregated node unreachable cases as P2 priority and node down as always P1 priority. So see, the way the ticketing architecture and its severity is created, okay, we have created accordingly. So you have to pay focus on the problem type, which is coming in the HPSN or which is coming in your ticket dump. So related to network faults, need difference for reason of WAN down due to admin down, ISS down, port down, any protocol causing link down, how to check WAN down status through log. Login I'll show you.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Cisco 920, we have two versions. One is supporting with two power supplies, one is supporting the single power supply. Based upon version, we are getting hot and determined for the lower version, where actually we have a NA against that power supply. Is there any possibility to block that one depending on the version to ticketing, not to generate ticket for the lower version of 920?
No, right now, okay, I'll generalize your question. You are talking about resource utilization and its alarm management.
Yes.
Right. We are not discussing that in this session.
Okay.
Yes. Good question. About back-to-back links nodes. So I'll quickly go back to one of the slide and I'll cover that. So, this is visible as nomenclature slide. Anyone? This is visible, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, there are devices which are connected in the same premises, possibly same rack. Okay, there will be no transmission involved in this. Okay, these links, like if we see Kalyani Nagar CCR, IAR, or Kalyani Nagar WAN, this will be directly connected with the help of patch cord. So these are our back-to-back links. So these core to WAN, core to IAR, or back to CAS, this link should not be down at all unless and until there is fault on the device or the patch cord. These are our back-to-back links. I'll show you that on the node login also. I'll just log into the node and I'll share. Okay, what is inline RR and how to check the status of the node from inline RR. I will show you that also. Okay, so first I'll go through the login and what are the things that needs to be checked, and then we'll take these queries. Let me know my screen is visible.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so right now I have logged into in VPAM also. Those who are logging day to day into the network, they are aware there are two parts of VPAM. You have Varcos CLI and you have GUI. Okay, so right now I have logged into the CLI. So from the flow that I have told you already, from VPAM I have logged into the SSH server. Okay, this is .36 server, and if you log into 35, you will again see the difference on the name, that is app 1. .35 is SSH app 1, .36 is SSH app. Okay, so the first part of the login flow, I am already connected into the node. So I'm already connected to my SNOC LAN, and now from my SNOC LAN I have connected to VPAM. From VPAM I have also logged into the SSH server. Now I'll take any of the device. Okay. One practice that you are running is you are taking the host name by matching. You are getting the IP by matching the host name. Let's say I ask you to log into Kalyani Nagar SAR. We'll start with Cisco. So you can just match it multiple times also. Here you can clearly see this is Maharashtra Pune Kalyani Nagar node. Send node Cisco 9010. But how to confirm that it is a Cisco 9010? Now I have put this username to log into the device. Now that request is sent to ICE for verification. I'm typing the password. This request is also sent to the ICE. It has authenticated me to execute, to log into the device. So right now, I am logged into this device. Okay, I have used .35 as a server, but this is the private IP of that, public IP of that server. So even if you log into some device, you want to know from where you have logged in, you can show users based on the different OEM, command may vary. You will get from where you have logged in. This is the source IP from here you have logged in. This is your user ID. Okay. Now, for Cisco, I have told for node related, show platform. Now, you can see there are two RSPs. The processor card which I was talking. This is routing switching processor RSP. Particular type of this RSP is RSP 880. Now you see RSP is down. You call and you'll tell that RSP type of 880 is down. Right now RSP 1 is active, 0 is on standby. Let's say one of the line card is down. You can tell that mod 160 type of line card is down. That is the line card type. Those who have access, they can run admin show platform. Then you will see the number of power supplies connected on this host, whether any power supply is down. There are 2 supplies and 6 modules. This is power supply 0 feed, power supply 1 feed, and 3 modules for each one. Okay, each power supply for 2 kilowatt. It is a DC power supply. Line card type, you have different line card type. How to read this? This is a 9K 8 into 100G line card. So you have 100 gig ports, 800 gig ports available on this line card. If you see this particular line card, you can see there are 24 10G ports and there are some 1G ports also. So when you are checking that I have to shift a link, I want 1G port. First check whether the line card itself supports or not. Now this is a mod 80 card where you have 2 different child cards. So this is a mod 80 card where you have 20 into 1 gig capacity ports available. So from remotely also you can directly ask the engineer while shifting the link whether there are any ports available on this line card. Another thing, show logs that you need to check. There are multiple logs available. Based on the fault, you need to split the logs. You can just use an include keyword to check whether there are any ISS. So you can see that at 11:20 there are multiple links flapped. This also. So as per the ISS configuration, you will get the parent node name also. Now you start reading this. Okay. So this is Kalyani Nagar Sar. Now I can see that Pune to Nashik. This will be the jail road location. Sarwar. This link flapped. From Pune to Vega Center also flapped. Pune Bhiwandi also flapped. Pune Hirabag. This is, I guess, Wonder City. So from host name you can clear it. Okay, these are the 9K boxes, SAR locations. This is a pre-ag location, the pre-ag router, and Cisco 903. So there are multiple details available when you see the logs. One more thing, one link is down. Let's say this bundle ether is down, bundle ether 6. How to check what is the capacity of the bundle ether? One thing is simple command, show interface, bundle ether 6. The bandwidth is 300 gig. One thing. Second part, number of members in this bundle. You can see 3 members, each with the capacity of 100. So this is a 300 gig link. All are active. Now, in case any of the 100 gig link is down, okay, you will see that the number will change. This number will also change, and the status for this will also change. It might show you in the configured or standby. Configured means it's down. Standby means you have configured, it is available, but it is on standby. Why? Because maybe you have configured minimum link as 3. So even if 100 gig is up, it will be, the bundle will stay down, and 100 gig will show in standby. We will not go all the status in detail. Next one, So first part was show interface bundle ether 6. You can see the bandwidth. What is the bandwidth? Number of ports connected into this. Now this also you can easily read.
इसको रिकॉर्डिंग को लगाया वो बाद में
This also you can read. Okay, this is on line card. This is on line card 2, this is on line card 7. Port number. That nomenclature also. Just dig into that and you'll find it. The next thing you can check is show bundle 6. Here you will see the output. This is an additional confirmation that there are 3 links, they are up. Any of the links which are not active in Cisco, you can see it right away here, and the second command is here. In Juniper, you won't find that directly, that's why I'm showing you. So this is for Cisco. Now, there was one question for port, WAN link and admin down. In Cisco, you can clearly see administratively down here. It will be written admin down. So, you can clearly see that this 100 gig port is administratively down. If you have received an alert and that time you see that this is administratively down, then that means clearly someone is working on it and that's why it is made administratively down. You will see the last input here. You can also see from the log. If I will match this, right now I will not get any output. While live troubleshooting, you can find out the timing. So you can do an ecosystem check. Just log into Sev1, check the performance of this port, when this port went down, whether it was carrying any traffic or not, whether there were any errors on this. See, here you can see historical errors. But if these errors are incremental, then it will also reflect in Sev1. Now, this is an 4-layer device where we have, this is serving as an RR. Now, not getting into detail, this is the RR for particularly Maharashtra Circle. These two are the RRs. Okay, and these are the clients. So, let's say when we are troubleshooting, I am asking you to check from the inline RR. One part earlier I have not covered to check the backup for RR configuration because this was primarily focused on L1 troubleshooting. Okay, so right now there will be a question, how can I identify the inline RR? So one thing is you have to know whether it is a pre-act device, access device or core device. If it is aggregation layer device, most probably it is added in the circle hierarchy. That hierarchy I have not covered deliberately because it will again create a confusion. So from circle hierarchy you can directly check which of the nodes are down. From core you can see which are the aggregation nodes are down. To get the IP you can easily check the backup, and in backup configuration you will see the RR IP. Log into that IP and then check the BGP status. This will show how many devices are down. So we'll quickly move ahead with Juniper and Nokia for basic checks, and then I can at least take the questions also. Okay. Now I know the IPs, so I will directly log in. Okay, so for Juniper you have one more feature available. Once you log in you can directly see the, for Cisco also you have show version command to check the version of the router. Okay, in Juniper once you log in you can directly see on which version it is running. This is Mumbai device, IDC, it is a VPN aggregator device and the model is MX480. How we can check? In show version, you can see that the model is written as MX480 and this is the current Juno switch. How to check if there are any alarms for Juniper? Show chassis alarm. Right now, there are no active alarms. Show chassis FPC. There are 6 FPCs live. All are online. Show chassis pick status. Now, I'll just give you brief for one line card. This line card is type of particularly MPC type 2E, type 2 3D. Slot 1 has a line card type of MPC 4E. Now, in the MPC 4E, we have 4 child picks. Pick 0 is carrying 4 into 10 G links. Pick 1 is carrying 100 gig. Pick 2 is carrying 4 into 10 G links. Pick 3 is carrying 1 into 100 gig links. So when the card goes down, you should be aware about the card type. Now, this output will not come if the card is offline or down. Then how to check? Just do show chassis hardware, pipe match FPC. Here you can see MPC 4E 3D type of line card went down. Just as compared to Cisco, for this particular interface, this is a 200 gig link. Now, unlike Cisco, we don't see any member ports here. Then how to check the member ports? First check was the interface speed. It is showing us that right now, this link is 200 gig. How much is configured? That will be a second check. Show interface stars pipe match A50. Now you can see that there are 2 child ports added to. Please focus on this, because if you made error like this, if you select A1, it will also consist of A2. A10. So whenever you are matching, make sure that you are checking the exact output. Now this is a double digit, that's why there are no additional ports. Maybe you are checking A2, you are getting A20, A21, A22 also, and you mistook it for 600 gig each. So the second check, you can see in show interface stars that there are 200 gig configured in this. Third check, you can check show LSP interface A15. Now you can see these 200 gigs added here, both are in distributing state. If they are not in collecting distributing state, that means they are not carrying traffic. So if any of the 100G is in attached or detached mode, it is as good as down. You may see physically it is up, but end-to-end connectivity is not through. That's why it's not in distributing state. Now coming to the next part. Okay, in Cisco I have missed that, but only the command varies, logic remains the same. Show configuration display set match A50. This is the third check where you can identify how many links are added in this bundle. So configuration will remain as is even if the card is down. Let's say the card number 5 is down. You can check what is the configuration on card number 5. Now you will have to segregate this. Obviously this is a 10G link, but there are configuration of different lines. So you can clearly see 500:0 is configured, 1 is configured, 2, 3 is configured. So these XC is 10G link, ET are 100 gig links. I'll show you what to check using SEV1 also, how to identify. So we have covered what are the you have to check what are the services configured. Let's say only one pick is down. You will check 5.1. So 5.1, there are 0 to 3, 40 gig, and this 100G, this is already disabled. 100 gig and 4 into 10G are down. And these are the services. what are configured. Right now we will not get into that. You will eventually learn.
हे 60 आहे का? हे 60 आहे का? हे 50 आहे?
ते 50.
बघ बरं. 60 आहे का?
हा, 110 रुपये.
नवीन रेट ते
So this is Sun City SAR.
70.
I know, that's why I'm saying Sun City SAR. How you will identify this particular, you may not know, but at least you know this is from Mumbai Circle. This is a SAR router, and this is Nokia SR12. How to check that? Show chassis. In show chassis, the type is 7750 SR12.
अंदरात जा.
What are the cards? Show card. You can see the different types
Ah,
of
there.
cards. Can you just count and identify that this has 12 slots?
हा, दिले मी देतील.
Is there any query? If not, please mute yourself.
थांब रे बाबा.
Okay, so this is an SR12, meaning 12 slots. You can see 1 to 10 we have the line cards, and A and B are the CPM cards. When you do a detail, show CPM A detail. Command varies. Just understand the logic. We are checking the uptime of this device. When was this card was last booted? Card 1 detail. If there are any errors, you will find one more line below this. Similar to show chassis pick status, you check the child card, show MD. Now you can see on slot 1, that is card 1, you have 2 sub cards connected, and these are of 100 gig capacity. We do show port. You can see on line card 2 there are only 200 gig ports. One port of 100 gig. Let's check what will be on card 6. On card 6 you can clearly see there are 1, 3, 4, 5, 6 are admin term. So from itself you can see 600 gig with a QSFP. So now from the CLI part, that's over. I'll check the same thing in SEF1. Let me know if the 7 screen is visible. Anyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, visible.
Okay. So I'll take one Cisco node and one interface. Whatever I have checked earlier, I'll show it here. So Kalyan Nagar SAR, bundle Ether 6. From ecosystem, you can identify the interface speed. This is a 300 gig link. In case if it has gone down in the past, you can see that minimum is written 200. That means at some point in history, 100 gig was down. That's why minimum is 200. And right now, last is 300 gig. So you have checked on router with multiple CLI that this is a 300 gig command, 300 gig link. If you don't have access, you can identify from SEV1 also that how much is the interface capacity. Juniper, let's say I'm taking this A1. Okay. If I select availability, I was talking about device ICMP availability and SNMP availability. So I have mentioned you can check ICMP polar is there, IP of the device. So if the device is reachable from SEV1, you will see sometimes there were packet drops, that's why the ICMP reachability dropped. Then there will be SNMP available. So there is a possibility that device is ICMP reachable but SNMP is down. In that scenario, you will not be able to see the performance of the device. This was one of the part that I have told. Now checking the bundle state. Let's say A6. This is available. And this is a 100 gig link. In AE6, 100 gig. So interface speed from here also you can identify. If anything is down, then you will see the downtime here also. I'll stop the screen and you can ask the questions now. But before doing that, parallelly, I want you to just fill up the feedback form before you guys drop. So I'm putting this in the chat. So you can ask the questions and parallelly fill the form. Please do fill this form so that I will be able to understand how many people have at least benefited from this session or not. If you have any queries, you can unmute and ask. Yes.
Suppose port is an 10 gig, but we have been given a 5 gig link only, capping with the 5 gig. So utilization will show 100% or it will show the 50% in SNMP graph.
There is one command configured under the configuration. Bandwidth command is there. Whatever the configured bandwidth command, it is referred for polling purpose. If tomorrow I change that 5 gig to 100%, 100 MB, you will see 1000% utilization. So one thing is direct polling based on the interface speed, and second is the bandwidth value configured. Yeah, Balu, Datta, you can ask a question. I'll show you that also. Yeah, you can unmute and ask the question. I see 2 people have raised their hands. You can just unmute and ask.
Hello, sir. Yeah, actually, what is the inline RR? Can you please? Hello.
Okay, so RR is nothing but a route reflector. To provide the end-to-end IGP reachability, there should be routing available in the network. Okay. In small network, we can either configure static or run it on IGP. In big networks, to keep end-to-end reachability, we will have to create iBGP on each router for reachability purpose. This will consume process. It will also consume memory. To avoid this, we have deployed route reflectors in the network. Each device will have an BGP session with the RR. So RR is basically part of BGP technology, route reflector, which provides the control plane connectivity.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
We can close this, Deepak, if there are no more questions.